Hey, congratulations, you made it through your first lesson and now we're on to the second lesson. Today we're going to teach you 3 more chords that you can use and you're not going to have to move very much. This is going to be a very simple lesson. We'll show you how to transition between the chords. So let's go ahead and get started on that so we can show you how to play those 3 chords. Hey, again, congratulations on making it to your second lesson. I hope you've been putting in the time practicing, and I know your fingers are probably sore, but if you keep on playing, it will go away because you'll develop those calluses and it will make it feel a lot better. So today we're going to introduce 3 chords, and I'm going to show you how to transition between those chords so that you don't have to worry about so much movement. The first chord we're going to learn is going to be a G, and you can see the diagram up here. Now, as you see on that diagram, I've got 2 fingers down here that are in lock. They're on the bottom. I've got one on 2 and one on 1. The pinky on the first string and the ring finger on the second one. For a beginner, this is a very easy way to do it if you can form this chord, because the next couple chords you're going to play, you can actually get away with not even moving those if you would like. One of the major problems that people have with playing the G chord, and I'm going to try and turn it here a little bit, is they complain that their other fingers are deadening the open strings. Or maybe this top finger right here is deadening the string below that has the first finger on it. You have to have an arch to your fingers, guys. Look at my fingers. I got a little slight arch. You need to make sure you have your wrist straight and try and work on one string at a time. Get that one to sound clear. Check the next one. Make sure that one's clear. Make sure your 2 open strings are clear. And then make sure you check your high strings. Now, you can play this chord if you want in a simplified version by simply putting your pinky down here on the first string, 3rd fret, which a lot of people will teach, or you can use your ring finger down there. I prefer to do the double stop because of the way I'm going to teach you today, and I also prefer the way that it sounds when you have the double stop down there. It actually fills the chord out very nicely. There's with 2, there's with 1. You can hear the difference. So now you know the G chord. Next chord we're going to learn is going to be the C9, and I'm going to teach you the C as well, but a lot of people struggle with trying to get a C down, so we're going to start with the C add 9. The C add 9 is keeping everything the same down at the high strings, but simply take those 2 fingers that you have and move them both down 1 string. So now your middle finger should be on 3 of 5, and your index finger should be on 2 of 4. And you strum from 5 down. Same concept. This time around, instead of having 2 open strings, you've got 1 open string, and that's going to be string number 3. In this case, you still have to have your fingers bent just enough, and I suggest that you go down through each one of those and make sure every one of those strings are ringing out. Get it sounding good, move back up to the G, and then try and move back. Try and get that finger memory in there. And do not stop your strumming hand. Take as much time as you need to move this chord, but keep the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we're going to teach you how to do the C chord without making a C add 9. As you can see on the diagram up there, you're going to have your ring finger on 3 of 5, you're going to have your middle finger on 2 of 4, and then you're going to have your index finger on 1 of 2, and it's going to sound like this. You're going to strum from 5 down. A lot of people have a hard time with this chord. In fact, I've heard people say that they almost quit playing because they could not get this chord down. Now, I don't want you to neglect the C chord just because I showed you how to do the C add 9. Because there's going to be some cases where you're going to need to learn that C, and I interchange them wherever I need them, but they both work. The C comes in important if you need to do some susses like Or if you need to run down to an A minor, which I'm not teaching A minor, I'm just showing you. Which you can't do as well like this. You can go, but a little bit more movement if you do the C add 9. So those are interchangeable. Again, the same as the last one. The most common problem that people have on the C chord is that the high E string is open and they got this finger down here and the fat of their finger right here is touching that high E string and it's killing it sound like this. So you got to bend that index finger, trying to get on the ends, the tips of your fingers. Now, the final chord we're going to teach today is going to be the D chord. And on the D chord, you're going to start with your middle finger on 2 of 1, your index finger on 2 of 3, and your ring finger on 3 of 2. That's going to take a little bit of adjustment, especially when you try and switch between chords. You're going to end up doing things like this where you're like slowly putting them all down. On this chord, you're going to strum from 4 down because 4 is an open D, which is the root of the chord. Another common problem with this is the same thing as on the other chords, whereas this ring finger right here tends to touch another string because it's not bent enough, and so you're killing the high E string. But as you get better, and people say, I'll never be able to do that, I'll never be able to do that. Watch how my hand comes completely up and comes right down. It's not me consciously thinking about it. It's that I've done it for so many years that it just knows where to go. And if you've ever typed, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if you've texted, sometimes your fingers just know exactly where to go without you even thinking about it. On this chord, how does this lock in with the whole idea of the positions that I told you about in the other 2 chords? Well, you can go G, C add 9. You can lift up on this middle finger and simply drop your index finger down 1 string to 2 on 3. It's going to be a D sus, but it works. So you have limited movement. You have the G, move 2 fingers, D, move 1 finger. So it sounds like this if you put them all together. Again, I have to stress that even though I showed you a shortcut on this D, it doesn't mean that you can go your entire guitar career and never learn the regular D, because you are going to need that, and that sus is not going to sound right all the time. So if you know the Christian song, it goes like this. We stand and lift up your name, for the joy of the Lord is our strength. Same concept, it's just the same chords over and over like that, and that's how you can do it. You can just do the G, drop 2 fingers, drop the 1 finger, and keep it as a sus. Now obviously there's other chords in there I didn't play, but I'm showing you how you can do that. That's holy as the Lord. Slowly go between the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can slow that down even more if you want. If that's too fast for you, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. But the most important thing is, guys, you have to have rhythm. If you're going to start, you're going to go 1, 2. You can't go 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to keep it steady. I suggest you downloading a metronome on your cell phone. They're free, and just set your speed at something that you're comfortable with on individual beats. You can set it to 60 beats per minute, which would be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, or basically 1 strum per second. So do that, 4 on each one, move to the next one. Move to the next one. As I've said in previous videos, another way that you can look at it is you could just sit in front of the couch and do this. And maybe you wouldn't want to sit in front of the couch. Maybe you would want to sit on the couch. But just sit there and do this. And then the next time, maybe do the D a little differently. That's going to be the one that's going to be a challenge, guys. Looks like a claw going down to grab it. G, C, D, regular C. And before you guys get too frustrated, just know that we all started where you're at, and that I remember watching guitar players and saying, I can't wait until I get to a moment where it's not an effort for me to do it. And you know, guys, I can't even tell you when that moment was. It just happens. And one of these days, it's just going to start working for you, whether it be on your chords or it's going to be on your strumming hand. I hope this lesson was a great second lesson, and I hope you're looking forward to number 3. Your practice things is to go back and do lesson number 1, which was going to be E minor to an A, E minor to an A, and then go from your G, your C, and your D. And if you need to, go back on lesson 1, but these lessons are not going to do any good if you don't watch them and you don't practice. Keep on practicing. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that lesson. I hope you're watching all the videos. I hope you're commenting, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Do me a favor, if there's a song that you want me to do, don't hesitate to make a comment down below. I'll take a look at it and see if it's something that I think everybody can play. But until then, keep on picking.